Am I famous yet?
Padre, pues, muchas gracias, Señor, por traernos a Saúl hoy. Por favor, bendícelo y haz lo que pueda transmitir tu palabra para que toque nuestros corazones. Ayuda que esta palabra la podamos practicar en el mundo para traer más jóvenes hacia ti, Señor. En nombre de tu amadísimo Hijo Jesús.
¿Cómo están, jóvenes?
Bendecidos en victoria.
So we're not gonna do the same thing as we did last time. Some of y'all got very competitive. Yes, you.
I don't like getting separated from my friends, especially not my best friend. Because he has one, right?
No, we always do this.
Okay, so ¿qué aprendimos el last? What was the point of last tema, last meeting?
We learned about the sins, the different types, and about the 10 commandments and the 7 types of virtues.
It was an introduction.
The virtues and vices.
What?
The virtues and vices.
Virtues and vices. I like that word, yes.
And then you told us about a very, very big sin that could be done with the Holy Spirit.
The sins against the Holy Spirit, yes. Los pecados contra el Espíritu Santo.
Talked about concupiscence.
Concupiscencia.
Concrete.
Concupiscencia, yes, that's right. That the tendency that we have to sin or sin. Okay, so es el ¿cómo se llama? La módula de los pecados capitales, right? So we're learning about the 7 deadly sins, and this we're gonna learn about the first one.
Today they wrote with permanent markers.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
then probably
Which are
We're gonna learn about the Soberbia.
pride. What is pride? I've never heard of that.
Yes. Soberbia, pride, orgullo. Also, I'm gonna use interchangeably soberbia and orgullo. So they're the same thing. Okay. So, este es uno de los pecados más grandes, de los pecados capitales. Is like the queen or the mother of all the capital sins, because, yes, because it kind of guides you through the other ones, and because pride was the sin of the devil.
yeah.
So the devil, Satan, was an angel. Lucifer, se llamaba Lucifer, right? So he was like one of the most beautiful angels in existence.
Was he an archangel or
No, I don't remember. No, I don't think it's not archangel. Okay, but he was called one of the beautifulest of the angels.
That's a word.
But he took, if that was a word, that would be it.
He made that.
Yes. But since he was very beautiful and like majestic, he thought highly of himself. He thought of himself above all other angels, and that didn't stop there. It went as far as seeing himself equal to God or above to God, and that was his sin. That's why he was fallen and he was exiled to the depths of hell. Okay, so el pecado del demonio fue la soberbia, creerse más que Dios. Entonces quedamos que los pecados capitales son vicios, right? Vices. So a vice is something, ¿cómo se dice?
You are here today.
That you do. Bad habits, that's the word I was using. So it's basically a bad habit. It's something that you do little by little and develops into something that you do constantly, right? And like bad habits, it's hard to break away because they're like so deep rooted into you, right? Okay, so vices are like that. Soberbia, we're gonna learn that soberbia, it's kind of good in a little doses. There's like little doses of soberbia that are good, but they're called different, and we're gonna learn about that. But everything good becomes bad in excessives, right? So pride, every sin, every deadly sin is something good, I guess, in excessive manners. Okay? So we're going to start like la soberbia es un sentimiento y una actitud desordenada, right? De superioridad ante los demás y ante Dios. That's the big thing. It's towards your neighbor and towards God. And desordenada means like you crave it a lot. It's how do you say desordenada in English? Disorganization. Unorganized. Disorganized.
¿Cómo le dices desordenada?
Es un sentimiento o una actitud desordenada de superioridad. Like you feel above all others. Okay? So, let's give an example.
Like having an ego.
Ego. Yes, that's basically it. So, yeah.
They're pretty good.
They're arrogancia. Yes, that's one of the things.
Arrogance.
So, for example, you're very good in a subject. Let's say, what's in a school subject? Math.
History.
I didn't want to say math because
History.
we have a math teacher over here.
Ooh.
But
So Edgar's really good at math.
Wow.
But let's say math. You're really good at math, and like you're one of those persons that just by seeing it you understand, and like you see all the other your fellow classmates that keep asking questions, and over again they explain it to them, and they still don't understand. But
That's the struggle. That's
so what you do is that you see at them and you judge them. You're like, well,
I've done that.
I'm clearly above them. Like, it's like I'm almost equal to the teacher. I know this stuff. Like, in a few years, I could be even dean. So even more than God, right? So basically, that's it. It's something that starts little, and then it works its way until you feel like you're better than everybody else. Like, que eres la última Coca-Cola del desierto, right? Hello.
You gonna take it away from the polar bear too?
I'll take it.
So, there's two types of soberbia. Hay dos tipos de soberbia. Two types of pride. And one of them is the incompleta
Incomplete.
o incompleta. La completa. You would have guessed it.
I thought it was socks.
You're like, me too.
Incomplete and complete. Okay, so the complete one, that's the worst. Because the complete one, it not only do you see yourself above your fellow peers, your neighbors, you see yourself above God. And by that, I mean that you think that you don't need God for this. That what you got,
You got on your own.
You got on your own to the place that you are now. That you didn't need help from anybody. That God didn't help you get to the place that you were. So taking God out of the equation makes it the full pride complete.
So basically every rapper ever.
Basically. So it's yeah. So the complete one is es una actitud de rebeldía que ante toda autoridad, especialmente la de Dios, y ante toda autoridad de los hombres y la autoridad de Dios. So, como les decía, el pecado del demonio fue la soberbia, y tanta fue su soberbia que se creyó más que Dios. Entonces, por eso la soberbia completa es pecado mortal. La soberbia incompleta es solo pecado venial. Entonces, es mortal. Venial. So what did we say about being a venial sin? It's not that big, right? But if you left unchecked, it becomes something big. So you can start like incompleta, but you can go worse completa, right? So la incompleta no es grave totalmente, es un pecado venial, pero es estimarse tú mismo en exceso. No te miras como arriba de los demás o arriba de Dios, pero te sientes como que tú eres la gran cosa, como que, o sea, que tú eres el mero mero, o que te crees superior a los demás, o un poco mejor que ellos, digamos, pero no niegas que tengan la autoridad que tienen ante ellos. Okay. En esta no niegas la autoridad que tienen los demás en ti y Dios, en esta sí. So, por decir aquí, puede que estés en esta clase. Entonces, hay que poner un ejemplo de esta clase, right? So, maybe, digamos que alguno de ustedes sabe esto de arriba para abajo y dice, oh, esto yo ya me lo sé, yo debería de estar dando temas aquí enfrente. Like, se le pasa todo, hasta tartamudea, y luego nos anda preguntando cómo se habla esto en inglés, right? So, podría ser que, pero para que sea incompleta, puedes estar pensando todo eso, pero para incompleta, respetas a la persona que está enfrente. Dices, bueno, pero pues igual él es el líder, él es el que está enfrente, de todo mundo está hablando. Si llegaras a negar su autoridad, diciendo, no hombre, si este es el líder, ¿yo por qué vengo aquí? Like I can do better on my own. So that becomes complete and becomes mortal sin, right? So two types, complete, incomplete. La soberbia es un pecado grave, soberbia completa es un pecado grave, y porque estás despreciando a Dios, y es un pecado mortal. La soberbia incompleta es un pecado venial, pero puede llegar a ser pecado mortal, right? Okay. So ahora vamos a ver los efectos del orgullo o soberbia. Like I said, I'm going to use orgullo and soberbia interchangeably. So, el orgullo, los efectos del orgullo. So, the effects of the pride, it's that el orgullo nos hace olvidar que Dios es nuestro creador y que todo lo que tenemos es suyo. So, basically makes us forget that everything that we have, it's God-given. We might think that we achieved something on our own, but everything was given by the grace of God, right? Saint Paul was one of the biggest persons that said that habló mucho sobre la soberbia. So he said que de nada me sirve vanagloriarme o levantarme, enorgullecerme de algo, porque nada me pertenece. Lo único que me pertenece es mi pecado, y de eso no es algo que yo me debería enorgullecer. Right? So and he says that even his sin, it was for God. So we don't have anything. Nothing that we have is ours. Everything that we have is God-given. Just only our sin, it's the only thing that we have that belongs to us. So I don't think that we should be proud of our sin. I mean, at least we're not that type of persons. So that's one of the effects of pride, that you forget that God is our creator. El orgullo nos hace olvidar que Dios es nuestro fin y que lo debemos buscar. Que debemos buscar a Dios y no a nuestra propia satisfacción. Right? So it makes us forget that God is our goal. Our goal is to become saints. But pride makes us forget that and puts in place our own self-interests. I want to be rich, I want to be something, and I want to do this, and I want to do it on my own, or I did it on my own. It's mine, yes. Y la otra es que el orgullo nos induce a desconocer los derechos y quebrantar su ley, la ley de Dios. Prescindir de Dios en nuestra vida, so like saying that we don't need God in our lives, basically. Esos son los efectos del orgullo. Entonces, ahora vamos con el orgullo hacia el prójimo, hacia nuestro neighbor. El orgullo nos lleva a desconocer los méritos de nuestro prójimo y tratarlo con desprecio y altanería, pues nos comparamos con él y competimos con él, y para sentirnos bien tenemos que mostrar que el prójimo es inferior a nosotros. Otra forma de ser orgullosos es buscar avidez por sus elogios. Okay. So, for our neighbors, pride would be tratarlos con desprecio, like, no quererlos, or their merits or anything that they have achieved, like make belittle them, right? That's a word. Yes. Belittle them. Make them their achievements look small. Like, yeah, I did that on like last week, or like I can do that with my eyes closed. ¿Te tardaste tanto para hacer eso? Yo lo hubiera hecho en un ratito. And then you constantly keep making them feel inferior to you. Another way of doing that is also looking for them to what is it? No se me viene la palabra en inglés. Eso es buscar sus elogios. Elogios es like que te des este. No. Praise. That's the word that I was looking for. Looking for them to praise you. Like you do anything to get like,
like craving attention.
Yeah,
basically.
the craving attention to make them praise you. Like, oh, you did really good. Also, the way that you did your demo is like, oh, so long. So you basically do things for the wrong reason. Like for being here in church, you would do everything. You would stay where I am, stand where I am, and like do what I'm doing, but just for looking for the praise of you guys. Basically, that would be an example. I'm not doing it because doesn't matter what I do. I can't seem to get y'all guys' approval.
Great job.
So, eso es para el prójimo, pero también puede haber con nosotros. So, orgullo para con nosotros. Y el orgullo con nosotros nos engaña de nuestras cualidades, ocultando nuestros defectos. Nos engaña exagerando nuestras cualidades y ocultando nuestros defectos. So, have you guys ever looked in a mirror, right? Obviously, right? And then you seen yourself in a mirror, and you seen yourself in a picture that somebody else takes. What's the difference?
I look better.
The camera adds weight, guys,
angle.
obviously.
The angle. They don't have the right angle. It's their phone. It's an Android. That's the
They
problem.
didn't give a good side.
Okay, for some reason, when you see yourself in a mirror, you see yourself like, damn, like, estoy bien chulo, estoy bien guapo,
It's
like,
like
oh my
a
gosh,
contour.
like,
Cheekbones.
you see yourself as like perfect, and then you see yourself in some picture that somebody else took. I'm like, hey, what happened to you?
Do you want tacos? No,
The eyebrows
no,
are
I'm skipping
even
dinner.
Okay, so basically with that, what I'm saying is that this having soberbia with oneself, it's basically that. With the mirror, what you see yourself, it's also because the image is flipped in a mirror. In a picture, it's the other way. In a mirror, you see the image flip,
Oh,
right? Just
it's reverse.
reverse, right? But also, your brain tricks you to see yourself more attractive than you think.
What?
Hey.
But I mean,
Yeah.
mirror
You calling me ugly now?
Said all of it.
And then, yeah, I think it said like 10 times.
I think it's 6 times.
How do you
Something.
quantitate that?
I don't know. I read that in an article that your brain tricks you to see yourself more attractive than you actually are. So basically, you're ugly. Or we're ugly rather. So, a lo que voy, orgullo con uno mismo es ver todas tus virtudes o exagerarlas y no ver tus fallas, en vez de ver toda la foto, right? De ver donde tienes todas tus faltas. So pride with oneself would be looking at yourself with no flaws. Like you don't have flaws. You're perfect. Thinking yourself as perfect would be having soberbia with yourself.
You're Chad.
Okay. So la soberbia y el autoestima tenemos que saber distinguir. Remember that I said that a little of pride it's good for you, right? So that's basically self-esteem. Yes.
Is there such thing as having like so little pride that's bad?
Yeah, that's like
Yes.
low self-esteem.
Yeah.
That would be low self-esteem. I was getting there. Okay. So no, it's good. It's good.
Hey, point for the guys.
I've been answering all these questions. So,
I
so
was
I'm
joking.
gonna be like men on our side.
What was the joke?
This
All the guys want to
why you laugh?
Okay, so self-esteem. We have to make the distinction between self-esteem and pride. Self-esteem is good for you because you don't want to see yourself as being worthless, as being nothing. You have to see your self-worth. Your self-worth, what is it? Point for the girls. Wait, here. Huh?
Wait, what was the question?
Did you
Yeah,
say
what was the
carpets?
question?
What is our self-worth? ¿Qué es lo que valemos?
We are created by God.
We're creating God's image.
Yeah,
Yes, with children of God.
Let's not to the point. I already never do anything.
So, nuestro self-esteem, nuestro valor es que somos hijos e hijas de Dios, right? So we should always have that like engraved in our bodies. No one, even ourselves, can make ourselves feel down because of that. We're equal in the eyes of God. So some of us may be, tenemos más agraciados. I'm sorry por ustedes. Pero a los ojos de Dios todos somos iguales. So baja autoestima would be sería tener soberbia, pero muy poquita, que sería también malo, porque te sentirías sin valor, worthless.
That's how you get depression and all that, right?
And you will go to the same path, basically in opposite direction.
So there's nothing
So like,
really
where's our
bad.
point?
there has to be a balance in pride. Well, rather self-esteem is what you're looking for, right? So you have, and that is that you are children of God. We are children of God. So that should be always our matter of. We can be a little prideful of that.
Everyone's equal,
right?
no
But
matter
we,
what.
but the way we achieve balance is that we don't see ourselves above anybody else. We're equal in the eyes of God. So nobody can tell us that we're que no valemos, que no somos nada, porque todos ante los ojos de Dios somos iguales. Okay, so la autoestima sana es un amor ordenado con nosotros mismos, que nos mueve a reconocer lo bueno que tenemos como creación de Dios y darle gracias a Él por ello. Estamos reconociendo que somos hijos de Dios y también le damos gracias a Dios por todo lo que tenemos. So, esa sería tener buena autoestima. Bajo autoestima, pues obvio ya lo dijimos. Right? So la autoestima es sentirse competente para vivir y sentirte merecedor de la vida. Cuando tengo mi sana autoestima, no me comparo mis cualidades con nadie, ni mis capacidades con los demás, ni compito con ellos, ni me comparo con los demás. So you're not comparing to anybody else, you're not competing with anybody else, because you know your self-worth, you know what you are, you know your value. So you don't need to compete with anybody else. And you know that you know that what your other friend or somebody else has them because they have worked for it, right? And because they're children of God too. Okay. So now we're going to Soberbia. We said it's two forms, right? But Soberbia has 3 daughters. That's what they call them. Las hijas de la soberbia.
¿Cuál hijas and not hijos?
Because las hijas son unas hijas de...
Did you just assume their gender?
Gender neutrality, excuse me, we're in 2019.
They're called hijas because the words that we're going to describe, they're feminine.
You can say Latinx. Okay.
So what are their names?
Okay, the Spanish language uses gender for all things. It's la mesa, la silla, el sol, la luna, right?
Can
Okay.
we be equal? La sol, el mesa, el
Los-
ate.
These guys are much
That just
brighter.
doesn't sound right, I don't know.
Okay, ¿a dónde vamos? Las hijas de la soberbia son 3. La primera es number 1.
Número 1. Can you find the first hija?
Presunción. I don't think it goes with P or C.
Is that presumption with C?
Presunción. Which is presumption, remember?
No, yeah. Okay.
That's it. La presunción. La segunda es la ambición.
Ambition.
And the third one is vanagloria. It's vainglory.
You're so vain.
Presunción, ambición y vanagloria. Ok. So, presunción Presunción nos lleva a emprender cosas superiores a nuestras fuerzas y querer vencer nuestras tentaciones sin acudir a la oración. So basically, presumption, it's pretend that you can do your things on your own. Pretend that you don't need anybody else to do something. Pretend that you don't need God to do something. That you don't need anybody. That you can do things on yourself. And that's presumption.
I'm not pretending.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
You need God for
What if,
everything.
so what if I'm not pretending? That's what she said.
And that's Sorry.
Ooh.
Okay, so la ambición or ambition es el deseo inmoderado de honores y dignidades. Existen personas que hacen cualquier cosa por hacer lo que sea por que los halaguen, que los
So like doing something just to like, oh yeah, it feels good to accomplish something.
no, but you're getting the praise of somebody else. You're trying to crave the praise or like.
I think it's when you
Trying to
do
get
it more
likes.
than what you need. Like, you know, the millionaire Rockefeller, and they asked him how much more money can you be happy, and he said, just a little bit more.
Sort of, but we're talking about money and we're talking about praise. Like, huh?
The more you get, the more you want.
The more you get, the more you want. Yes, that's it.
It's like when you don't go to the gym, but people are like, wow, if you're losing weight, and you start going to the gym, people are like, wow, why are you losing weight? You're like, oh, it's
And
because I
then-
go to the gym. You're like,
Yeah, but yes, that's good. And then you work even harder just to gain more praise, to like people, so people can keep telling you, oh, you look good, and then you're.
pull out the six pack.
Yes,
Huh?
it's a double-edged sword. It can be used for good and for bad as well.
It's good.
A little bit of it is good,
A little,
but a lot of it is
but the
bad.
bad is. Because if you don't have a vision at all,
Yeah.
you fall into sloth.
Melanie.
That's my biggest one, the sloth.
So, as far as we are right now, you've seen that a lot of this pride can lead you towards another deadly sin, right?
Mhm.
And that's why sometimes they call it the mother or like the queen or like the root of all sins. So, vanagloria or vainglory es el deseo desordenado que otros nos alaben por motivos vanos, falsos y pecaminosos, como la riqueza o la hermosura.
Oh, you're so pretty.
Translation.
So, vainglory would be looking for the praise of others for things that basically that they're vain, that they're worthless. Money, looks, what's another one? What's this? Some stuff that doesn't have any value.
Likes.
It's
Yeah.
earth
Likes.
values, but
Likes.
Likes
oh,
like
yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Or Facebook.
That's why I
I mean,
deleted
there's
that.
people who buy their likes, so it
yes, there's people that would do anything to get more likes on Facebook, and that likes on Facebook, they're worth
There's women out here getting millions of likes. Let's see how much our troops
The
can get.
same principle applies. If you're doing it to get attention, to get something, to get compliments for people telling you that you look pretty, just to do, if you do things just to make people tell you that you look pretty, you're vain.
I'm trying to get that fire emoji.
What's that called when you take so many selfies and then you think yourself
Conceited?
conceited? Yes. You basically.
You're so conceited, Tori.
I'm recording for the other people. Yes, so you guys are conceited too. Ooh. Roasted. Just kidding, guys. Love you. Don't tell Father Ernie that I'm doing this. I'm sorry, Father. So la vanagloria or vainglory, it can be called different ways, or it can be in different forms. So one of them is la vanidad or vanity, which is obviously we already know what's vanity. that you do anything, like you buy yourself nice or expensive clothes, expensive earrings or something, necklace, do yourself anything just to make yourself look more appealing.
I have a question.
Yes.
Alright, so say a person, alright, so we're talking about this person doing stuff to get glory. What about someone changing their gender to achieve glory?
I don't think people change their gender to have glory. It's
I
more
think a
like,
couple
I think it's
people
more
have.
vanity though.
It's more vanity.
I think, yeah.
It's kind of vanity.
Like
But
there's
that
Yes,
would-
but it wouldn't be like
That would fall in a very complex part of it.
it's the stepdaughter.
But yes, it kind of goes that way.
Alright.
So vanity, it's one of it. And
And then it's a balance of self-respect.
yes, but we already said that our self-esteem is being children of God. So if you already know your worth as being children of God, you don't need anybody's approval or anybody's what's it called?
Exception.
And that to make yourself think prettier or appealing than anybody else.
All
are
you need
beautiful.
is your
In the eyes of God, in my eyes.
Just don't look in the mirror.
I'm just kidding.
I caught that too. He's like, in God's eyes. It's okay,
It's
we'll see it
recorded.
again.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, God gave you those eyes, and when you look in the mirror, you do look pretty. Just saying.
Oh, you're blind.
Oh my God.
That's pretty bad. So
Okay, so vanidad.
that hurt.
La otra se llama jactancia. Does anybody knows what that is?
Can I Google it?
What's the word?
Like
Jactancia.
when a mother gives.
That's lactancia. No, lactancia means jactancia. Y ahora yo dije lactancia.
No, it's not like
Jactancia, it's boasting about yourself. Boosting that.
But I like boosting
Lord.
myself.
Yeah, boosting yourself.
Check this out. I got this new Rolex.
Yes, please. You don't even
Check
know
out my
how to, like,
Adidas
have the
attires.
mentality.
Cuando so boosting
Love you,
is when
Chris.
you leave yourself talking about your own achievements. Like, oh, I did this, or like I climbed Mount Everest. Like, oh, guys, I got my degree in 2 years.
What if you
Posting your
like?
food.
What if someone
Look
does
what I
that
made
and you
today,
just
guys.
kind of follow it? Like, you know, those type of people that are like, oh, well,
It's just
like,
lettuce.
there's also like those people that are like, you know, big and beautiful, curvy is beautiful, blah blah blah. You know, like, it is though.
What'd you say about the curly part?
Alright, you're doing that more of inspiration to those.
What'd you say,
That's
Adamari?
kind of
Hello?
God
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what you said, Adamari, like when you get caught up in the moment, it's good in the sense if you build yourself. If you also like say somebody says, oh, I did this, I did that. It's like, oh yes, it's good for you. Échale ganas, do it better. You can do more. And then you say something, and then they build up on you. But if you
It's
just
like
talk
trying to-
about yourself and like trying to outdo each other, yeah, that's.
I don't like that type of person. They just always have to have the last payoff. Oh yeah, well I did this.
La otra es hipocresía or hypocrisy.
Do you want to do it on that side?
I just got laid off.
You can just take
Now
one
he's
out.
using his hips to write the doc.
Yeah.
And then I got married.
He's
last
trying to
weekend,
squat.
And I'm expecting it.
That's being a hypocrite.
Hypocrisy. So la hipocresía es cuando cuando se trata de disimular los defectos que tienes sin intentar corregirlos y a la vez estás apuntando los defectos de los demás. Okay? So you're basically pointing on all the defects that somebody else has, but you know yourself that you have the same ones, yet you have the audacity to tell somebody else that they have that, and you don't correct them yourself.
Who hurt you?
So you tell somebody that you're not worth their time, that like no.
Somebody with glasses calling somebody else four eyes.
Oh.
Yes,
That's
that
just
would
dumb.
be
You nerd. Let me go read my biology books now.
So,
Can also be a hypocrite.
hipocresía, it's basically that.
You know what? I'm writing these things down. Okay, I don't think I'm writing notes.
So,
It's on my hand. Hold on.
so also, it's when somebody like tries to get to some place and then they just fingen tener cualidades que los hacen ver superiores solo para alcanzar ese lugar. We see that basically mostly in politics. Politicians always try to fake their image as being perfect, that they go this, they do that, they feed the homeless but just for the picture or something like that.
Like in job interviews.
But in general, they don't feel that way.
Like in job interviews, when you're like really good at communication,
And then-
spectacular this, and you arrive and you're like German.
It's like, I'm really good in customer service. And el primer customer que te
What do
llega,
you
¿qué
want?"
quiere? What do you want?
Multilingual, can speak dog.
Wait, what?
Whoa. Speed dog.
Y la última es
Park.
this word. I don't even use this word.
Cochino.
La última de la vanagloria es la
Ostentatious.
Ostentatious.
Just make a word.
That's a real word. I
Ostentación.
swear.
I thought you were gonna say Austin Powers.
Ostentación. Can you say ostentación?
Ostentación.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
So ostentación or ostentatious. Ostentation. Ostentation.
That sounds contagious.
All those temptations.
Es cuando viene haciendo alarde de riquezas, ingenio o Ok, los ostentadores tratan de impresionarnos y dejarnos boquiabiertos con sus posesiones. Basically, like you try to impress somebody with what you have.
Or what
Either.
you know.
Basically, that's
So
what
well
you,
actually goes.
what you boast is what you lack.
You know.
Actually.
So los ostentadores, like they always try to impress us. Try to impress us with their possessions, anything that they have. Like basically, you have yourself a good car, even though you're still paying for it and you're in debt all the way down. But it's like, oh, look, I have Ferrari now, and you're in debt for the rest of your life, but you're still trying to impress all the people and like peasants.
Check out my new Tesla.
Tesla, what are you talking about? BMW.
Okay, so estas son
Self-driving
estas son
cars.
parte de la vanagloria.
Don't you work in a car?
So la ambición y presunción suelen llevar al pecado mortal. So these two can take this most of the time take you to mortal sin. Because it's hard to keep it in low quantities. You always want to have more. And vainglory, like we said, self-esteem, it's kind of good in little doses. So this is
It starts off venial and then it can
this
be
is
more.
venial
But how can you have little doses when there's people that boost you up
all the time.
You
Yeah,
can't
that's
help it.
Yeah,
People
Adamari,
are
those
crazy.
nice shoes.
It's not like
Ooh,
complimenting,
it's so
it's more
amazing.
like, damn girl, what you doing? Came from the club.
You need to stop that.
That's where you be humble.
So, where you would also be, so all that, so 1, 2 is the only mortal,
1 and 2 are
the only mortal.
yeah, they almost all the time lead you to mortal sin. Vainglory does not all the time lead you to mortal sin, but it also can lead you to mortal sin. So it starts slow, but it does. Vainglory mostly depends. On this one, it's almost immediately.
Just think evil villains.
Yes. So
I'm going to take over the tri-state area.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay,
I didn't
so,
know
hay un dicho que dicen mucho en español, la curiosidad mató al gato. Have you
Pero
heard
es
that?
como lo sabiendo.
Curiosity killed the cat even though it has 9 lives.
And
Well,
because the
curiosity
I
curiosity
should
is
have named my cat my dog
Hello.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
Bless
Yeah.
you. I mean, salud.
Bless you. Curiosity is the door to pride, to soberbia. So, la curiosidad es una puerta hacia la soberbia.
We got money signs.
But you know what they say after that?
Whoa,
Pero el gato
whoa,
murió
whoa,
sabiendo.
whoa.
No, it's the full saying is curiosity.
Oh,
That
what you
the
said?
satisfaction's
Salamani?
all that.
What you said?
Que, wait, hold on.
No, you said it already.
Pero
El
murió
gato murió sabiendo.
Sabiendo. yeah.
Okay,
El gato murió
I'm
sabiendo.
actually super glad you said that because
Yo, just
I'm gonna need like 20 points.
No, that's
because
actually
no one else
bad.
said it.
look.
Oh.
Long story short, don't name your dog Curiosity.
el conocimiento del mal no es sabiduría. So, en Isaías 33:15 dice, el que cierra los ojos para no ver la maldad, ese mora en las alturas. Which basically means, oh wait, there's another one, in Siracides.
Ooh, you're using your phone.
Because look, it's through here, I forgot to. Siracides, what? Siracides,
I'm sorry, there's something on your phone you want to put this right now?
the Holy Bible.
That's what the teacher would say.
Eclesiastes. Eclesiástico. Okay, so, Eclesiástico 19:25. I couldn't find it. Okay, so basically,
What was the verse?
Siracides or Eclesiástico 19:25. Eclesiástico. It's the same one. So basically saying that you try to learn things, let's put drugs and alcohol and sex and all that other bad stuff, for example. Okay, so saying curiosity, that you want to know what it's like. You want to know what it's like to do drugs, because sometimes they tell you, especially parents with food, like don't hate it till you try it, right? But sometimes they can go towards other bad stuff, like drugs. I'm just
What I did is I looked at stories.
sometimes you can go into other stuff, right?
That's what I did. That's funny.
Like drugs and alcohol. You're curious about them. You want to try them, and to know what's the fuss all about. And in that temptation of trying things, you actually don't know how to control it, and something happens to you. If you have, like, let's say, sex, you get a
child.
child STD, drugs and alcohol, maybe drug, if you can get a car crash, drugs, you can get an overdose, and in that time, well, something bad happens to you, right? So Adamari said, pero el gato se murió sabiendo. So if you die, what's the point of knowing? You knew, but then your life ended. So was it worth it? Was it really worth it?
Good people say YOLO. It's the cool terms I hear. Yeah.
Okay, so apparently I'm taking more time that I should. I still have. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Voy a hacerlo un poquito más rápido. So, vamos a las consecuencias del orgullo. Las consecuencias del orgullo es que me priva de muchas gracias de Dios, no de gracias, no de las gracias que me da Dios, porque Dios resiste a los soberbios.
Me despoja de muchos méritos, pues destruye la recta intención de mis obras. Es decir, que no puedo hacer una obra buena para tener la atención de los demás solo por ser elogiado. Entonces, like, if I do something just to get the attention of somebody else, that makes my action worthless. Right? Let's say we want to go do some charity or community work. We go feed the homeless, but in that time we keep taking pictures, taking a selfie, feeding the homeless.
Okay, we know she's with her sister, but like she has
I
a
fed
home.
the homeless.
Just wait to get out of church.
You wanna cook?
And then like me doing a good deed today,
And then we go home after that one.
and then posting everything, right? Because you know that people are gonna look at it and they're gonna say like, oh, that person's doing good deeds.
I wish I was like you.
And then relax. So if you do it only because to get the attention of somebody else, to get the attention of people, that's it makes your action worthless. What you did, your action to feed the homeless, it's worthless. It doesn't worth anything. I mean, to them, they got food, but towards in the eyes of God, like, doesn't mean anything.
I saw this video where he was talking about these YouTubers going out and giving homeless people enormous sums of money, and that after those videos were released, people saw the YouTube videos and they went and found those homeless people and robbed them. And
What?
so like yeah, it's on.
But how do you know they still have that money though?
They don't. They just went to go like see if they had a lot. They knew they gave them a lot of money, so they were like, all right, let's go get them. It's
And
messed
there's
up.
videos where the YouTubers would go back and be like, hey, bro,
I haven't seen it. So, otra consecuencia es que es fuente de muchos defectos y faltas, pues intentando rechazar toda corrección. So, if somebody tries to correct you or like says this is wrong, but you say in your pride you're like, no, I can't do anything wrong. I'm perfect. So that's basically robbing yourself from growing, and then you, instead of growing, you grow defects. So me impide una sana relación conmigo mismo, con los demás y con Dios, porque para eso solamente soy yo mismo, fijo relaciones con otros. Ok, so ya hablamos de lo que es la soberbia, y ya se me acabó casi todo el tiempo, y ya nada más voy a hablar poquito de esto, es lo que es malo y lo que opone a la soberbia, que dijimos que what's the opposite of a vice?
It's virtue.
A virtue. So the opposite of soberbia would be la humildad.
Humility.
Humildad.
That's a humidity. We have a lot of that in Texas.
Yeah, that's bad for my dad.
Melon.
Humility.
You spelled it right.
Yeah, but I was gonna write it in Spanish, but it didn't sound. Just keep it in English.
Yeah, that's shorter.
So la soberbia, la virtud de la soberbia, la virtud que opone a la soberbia es la humildad. So la humildad es un sano amor conmigo mismo. Es cuando me valoro todo lo bueno y tengo en mente mis defectos, tengo de frente todo lo malo. Más aparte tengo en mente que todo lo que tengo es porque Dios me lo ha dado. La humildad es un término medio entre el orgullo y la... Ay, caramba, se me olvidó buscar esta palabra. Abyección. Que es un menosprecio o baja autoestima. So it's like it's an in-between of pride and low self-esteem, humility. So humility nos hace reconocer por nosotros mismos nada somos, ni podemos, ni valemos, sino que todo lo hemos recibido por Dios. y nos lleva a obrar de acuerdo con este convencimiento, right? So, el sano orgullo o la sana autoestima nos lleva a experimentar que somos competentes y que valemos. We already had, you guys probably don't remember, but we already had like basically like right after you guys graduated from ¿cómo se llama? Seminario to the community, maybe like fourth or fifth tema was la humildad verdadera y la humildad falsa. So in theory, you guys should already know what humility is, okay? Pero in theory. Pero la humildad es no es cuando tú eres muy pobre, esa es humildad falsa. Humildad es saber lo que eres, saber lo que vales y no sentirte mayor a los demás. Saber lo que tienes es porque se te ha dado, no porque tú llegas.
Would humility be like, so you gave the example like, oh, I know more than the teacher, but would humility be, oh, I know more than the teacher, but this person's having trouble. Let me see if I can help them figure out, like, get a connection between, figuring that out like that. Would that be humility?
Sort of,
I know a lot, but like I want to help.
Sort of, but humility in that sense would be, I know a lot, but there's somebody else that knows more than me, probably.
So would it be more like, I know as much as the teacher, but I'm going to keep quiet and just let everybody else ask their questions?
Yes. I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna be a show off. I'm not gonna.
I'm just going to doodle on my notebook until they get it.
Yes. But also, thinking yourself that you know more than the teacher would also block you from learning something new. So in that sense of you thinking that you already know this, you don't pay attention, and then something that new comes up, and then you miss that opportunity to learn. So that's also,
That's like an 85.
yes, that's the difference between an A and a B. So la humildad is that humility is basically believing yourself that you worth because you are children of God. We are all made in His image, so we're all equal. I may know something, I may know more than others, but it's not because of me, it's because I was given it by the grace of God. And if I have it, it's to help my community. Like some with dones, most of the time, not everybody gets gifts or dones. And having a gift or having a don is sometimes boosts your self-confidence or your ego and makes you look superior to others, especially someone that doesn't have any or thinks that doesn't have any, because everybody has them. You may see yourself superior to all others, which which you're not. You were given that to help the others. Okay, so good humility would be that helping. Humility comes from I'm not sure it's Greek or Latin. That is hummus. And
It's good.
yeah, sounds like that food. Yeah,
Chickpea.
hummus. It's earth, and so basically humility is being down to earth. So when people say, "Oh, this person is down to earth," it's because they're humble. They don't believe themselves to be above anybody else.
I had a thought earlier when you were going through the vanity boasting and all that. Like you said that it could be venial. So like say someone else like compliments you on that stuff, and like so being humble would like counteract that at that point.
Yes.
They'd be like, "Oh, you're so great." Just be like, "No, it's okay." Right?
Yes.
No, well,
Sort of, but
can I?
yeah.
Okay, so like for me, like when I'm a lecturer and they like, I do a good reading, and like, oh my gosh, you did such a great reading. I could be prideful and be like, thank you, like, yeah, I did
Yes, I
awesome.
know.
Or you could be like, thank you, I
And
worked
I'm
hard,
proud.
but it was God. God spoke within me. And you kind of humble yourself and be like, thank you, but, you know, God had a big part of that too.
So yes, basically that. So to work ourselves in to counteract pride, we get humility. I don't remember how many days they actually said to break a bad habit of
21?
21.
Not
It was
too late anymore.
21. 31. It takes a month to make a bad habit, right?
Something like that, something like that. So basically, pride is not easy, a bad habit or vice, it's not easy to break. So to do that, you put humility, you spread humility on that
bread.
on that bread.
Piece of toast.
I was gonna say some other word. So you counteract pride with humility.
Because your toast is burnt.
It's hard, but not impossible. So that's basically it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of myself in that whole situation, because on this part it talked about something that really hit me. Rather, when you're giving temas, it hits you differently, because when you're hearing them, you're like, oh, okay, you're writing this and that. But when you're reading the whole thing, you're like, oh Lord, what? that's me. Like, do they have cameras on my house or something?
I'm not telling jokes for attention.
So they said something about humility being bad here at church. I mean, humility, pride. When you have pride in, yes, el vicio de espiritual. Es un poco como like gula espiritual, but rather it's soberbia. Like you know a lot, and then you think yourself superior to others, and then you do everything to get praise from other people. Like Melanie said, like, oh, with the lectures, it's like, oh yes, and then you do next week you kind of like, or you do kind of better, but just for people, not to praise the Lord, to spread His word, but just so people can see you and can tell you that you did good. So to me, that actually happened to me a lot of times, because I've been in church for a long time. So sometimes that makes me very, very prideful. Huh? Sometimes that makes, or like a lot of times makes me very prideful, that I kind of been here a long time, that I kind of know stuff. When I was in the seminario, like with you guys, and then I became a leader, one of my kind of goals, have you guys been to those retiros with the elder people, right? The adults? Well, I said elder. With the adults? I'm sorry, Papa de Dani.
They're like 30 years older than us, so I guess they are elders.
Yes, 30 years.
40.
20 bro.
Like 10 more.
They live with dinosaurs, you say?
So anyways, so you know those retiros and the people that stand up and give the temas, right? So I saw myself, I was like, I know a lot, like I'm now right here at this place. If I keep going, I'm gonna become a evangelizador, like, or temista eventually. And like, since I'm really good, I'm gonna end up in that place really soon. So like, I'm gonna do really good, and then people are gonna be telling me, "Oh, you're doing really good. You're great." Obviously, I didn't think of it like that far off, but there was a thought in my head. So that continued, and it was till May in one of the retiros for the seminarios with the Lancaster group. They actually said, I sometimes go to their meetings, the formadores meetings. So this time they asked me to go, and they were like, oh, we need like the boys from Joven to be there, so they can feel like they're counted, right? Como que están allí. So querían que viera un joven, viera un... I see you grinning like when I say joven. So querían que un joven diera un tema. So I'm like, and then el hermano Jesús and like Danny's dad, like all the formadores, they know me because I've been here again a lot. So they're like, oh, el hermano de like muy buenos temas or whatever. It's like, yeah, sí, que lo de. So I was like, oh, my dream come true. I'm finally gonna be there. So I thought I was good. I thought I wanted that. But then todo se vino de que no, like no, and it was only like 5 days away, so they didn't give me a lot of time to plan the whole tema. And the good thing is that they already picked the temas to other people, so I was like, no, it's fine, keep it to them. So I was still thinking that I could do better than them. So that day when they were doing the temas, and like they know a lot, like a lot, and I was like, what? I'm not even close to their place. I was like, they're over here and I'm still like down over here. So I was like,
it knocked you back into place.
Yeah, it knocked me back into place. I was like, I'm nothing. I mean,
We always do.
I'm worthless.
Yeah. What they tell you, like, what they taught me, like, lo que me enseñaron cuando empecé a estar aquí, es that que no te creas que tú puedes hacerlo o like, que tus palabras son tuyas, porque nada de lo que sale de tu boca cuando estás aquí enfrente es tuyo. Al principio se hace oración por el temista, right? So estamos pidiendo que el Espíritu Santo entre a través del hermano, de la persona que está aquí enfrente. So básicamente el Espíritu Santo está hablando a través de nosotros. Somos un instrumento. So the words that are coming out of our mouths, they're not ours. Like they're not our thoughts or like they're not set up in that same pattern. It's God talking through us, like using us as an instrument. So basically none of what I know, it's mine. It's God given. Like what I said back to St. Paul, nothing that I have belongs to me. Like only my sin belongs to me, and that's nothing to be proud of. So that's my thing with pride. I've been working really hard with it because it's hard, especially when you gain praise from people and stuff like that. So humility. It's one of my virtues that I've been working a lot. I would say that I've been working really good. I still have a long way, but I'm kind of like getting the hang of it. But it's really, really hard because pride is one of the biggest sins. Okay, guys? So let me see. We have a little time, so we can get together in groups and talk about yourself, your prideful selves.
That was so good.
Like what do you have?
If
like,
they give me the mic, I'm going to talk for like 30 minutes.
Like what's your biggest pride problem? Can you say prideful? Now in your house,
Please like and subscribe.
yes. So subscribe to my channel, guys. I'm gonna be dropping videos and like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be lit.
Notification bell.
And ring the bell.
Click some notifications. Subscribe.
Will be where we got our information.
Subscribe to Patreon. Oh my gosh. Follow my Twitch. We're gonna live stream.